Hi, welcome to Sugar Free. This is the Daily Tarot for Wednesday, the 10th of November 2021. I've shuffled, so I will cut. Okay, this is a major arcana reading. Okay, the Tower, Chariot in the reverse, and the Lovers in reverse. Okay. Gulp. Right. Well, whatever you've done, you've done. And there's no undoing it. There's no undoing this. There is a sense of there not being any kind of agency about this Tower energy. It's the bolt of lightning that does it. It's not the cannons that smash this tower down. There's no human action does this. You can see a cannon on the top there. It's the bolt of lightning. It's something that comes completely from the outside and changes things. Changes things that you thought were secure and set up and just the way it was. I mean, this tower was just the way it was, wasn't it? For the longest time. And then boom, gone. That's one kind of change. And you know, it can be a very difficult kind of change to digest, so to speak, because it's sudden and it's irrevocable and things will never quite be the same again. On the other hand, it can be quite comforting, in a sense, to realise that it was nobody's fault. It's just one of those things. So, you know, like every type of change, the dynamic, the spectrum between responsibility and lack of agency is, you know, it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? Double-edged sword. But what we're seeing here in the Chariot in the reverse and the Lovers in the reverse is all about choice. All about choice, especially the Lovers here. You know, we have this, shall I be a son or shall I be a lover? Am I going to go home with my mum or am I going to go for a nice walk with the nice lady? And we know what's going to happen because the little arrow's going to go in and he's going to go off. And kind of rightly so. You know, this is about the unstoppable nature of human desire. You can't stop it. You don't have to act on it all the time. And how we act on it is the kind of bedrock of our karmic outcome. So we have the choosing here and we have the action off the back of the choosing here. Card number 6, card number 7. The Chariot, the two independent things there, the two horses there that have to be tamed. And the Chariot's here using all their willpower, all their strength, all their courage, all their core power from that position in the Chariot to get those horses to act as one. You know, in a sense here we have the two horses and here we have the two horses. Two forces, the horses of forces. They're both in the reverse. The choices we take and the way we then proceed in the light of the choices we take. As I say, there's no choice going on here. So what's the story here? Excuse me. Well, there's clearly some kind of thing going on about responsibility for change. Responsibility for what happens. I mean, you know, people do things and then they sort of make a mess and then they say, oh, I'm very sorry about what happened. And it's like, no, it didn't happen. You did it. You know, but sometimes with this lightning, things just happen. So there's a kind of that's the story on the table today, but I don't know what the invitation is yet. And I don't know whether these two are in reverse because we're ducking responsibility and trying to say, oh, it just happened, like the lightning, or whether it really isn't. Whether we're putting too much responsibility on ourselves. And that it is actually to do with this. I don't know. Let's pull some more. Okay, death. Well, I mean, sometimes people are responsible for how and when someone dies. But there's no human on earth, apart from perhaps the odd very, very unusual Tibetan Buddhist monk who can control this. No one can control the force of what this does. It comes when it comes. And it comes to us all. And again, there is a kind of comfort in that. There's a shared outcome for us. The levelling. And that's what happens with this scythe. It's all levelled. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how powerful you are, how knowledgeable you are. None of that counts when this scythe comes to harvest it all in, to bring in that karmic harvest. And as I'm always fond of saying with this card, the artist's palette is outside of this reaping. So there's something here, there's a message here about creativity, which is wonderful. But yeah, no human being is responsible for the phenomenon of death in any way, any more than any human is responsible for the behaviour of this lightning. I mean, climate change, we might be having some sort of effect on it, but we didn't make lightning and we didn't make death. Okay, so perhaps things are getting a little bit clearer. Okay, sun in reverse. I'm just going to pull one more. Okay, the devil. Right, well, I think we're having a bit of a day of it today. We're having a bit of a day of it where we try to work out how trapped we are, how consequently disconnected we are, how in a little cell of our own mind we are, and how that links in to the matter of agency, the presence or absence of agency, and where we are on the spectrum with something. Now, I talk about being alone and being disconnected because, and possibly in a rather kind of unilluminated place, because we have the sun in reverse here, and I'm talking about being trapped because we have the devil in the upright. So there's a lot of thought on the table. There's a lot of consideration on the table today, and a feeling of a reassessing, perhaps, or an assessment of that for which we are responsible and that for which we are not. Because we've got both types on the table here. I'm going to take the devil out of the picture for the time being, and the sun. Because I think these are more kind of upshots of where this debate takes us. Now, let me just put those there. The Lovers and the Chariot, as I say, is all about the agency of the self. Oh, it's gone out of focus. I think it's because I put those there. Sorry, let me just move those, see if it will come back into focus. I'm not going to read anything into that. Okay. The Lovers and the Chariot are all about our choices and our action off the back of those choices. So very, very much on the agency of self side of things. The two cards in the upright are the opposite, just agency of life forces that are not subject to human endeavours. So I'm going to put these back now The feeling of unhappiness, Sun in reverse, and the feeling of being tied down, Devil in the upright, for me on this day is an indication that we need to give ourselves the opportunity, the space to let ourselves a little bit off the hook with whatever it is. Even if it's something that was our choice, sometimes we don't choose wisely, and it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Sometimes that little arrow finds its mark and we just do something that we wish afterwards that we hadn't done. But it doesn't mean that everything that we do is wrong, because there are all sorts of forces, Tower and Death here, that are not subject to our will. So do be gentle with yourself on this day. You don't need to lock yourself up in a cell on your own and flagellate yourself because you did something perhaps unwise. Right, I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.